So, hi everyone, this is Pretty, and I'm from Pretty Insight, as you all know. And I have a wonderful, beautiful guest, and I call her one of my angels actually. Her name is Jen Haddix, and she is like, she has so many talents and skills. She is an intuitive life coach. She is a sound healer. She is a business life coach, a spiritual coach, and anything that any spiritual being they want to know anything from Jen, she can provide you, starting from teaching you how to be a healer yourself, all the way to how to even run your spiritual business. And how I met Jen was just, I feel like, Jen, I know you somehow we're connected to past life.
I know.
And I met you like just a month ago, I think, or more than a month in June
Mhm.
of this year.
Yeah.
And I was really struggling, to be honest, with my website and how to represent who I am. Because we and Jen were just talking about manifestation. And, sometimes even we as coaches, we sometimes we're always giving, 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 and we forget how to receive and how to make ourselves, be better. And we need that reminder, really constant reminder. And Jen was one, like, she's like, I know the moment I got on the phone with Jen, I knew that, she was the one who's going to make my website look how I feel, how I want to be represented as. And I didn't want it to feel more, salesy, and I wanted to represent more spiritual. And that's what Jen is. And that's what Jen represents, who you are, or your authentic self. Like you're almost like, you're not selling, of course, this is a spiritual business, but then at the same time, you're also representing, your community at the same time. And Jen is she herself is an intuitive reader. She does tarot readings and she does sound healing, and it's just amazing to see how, I just in a month, I feel like I only scratched the surface about Jen, and there's so many things that I still want to learn from her. And I'm always constantly bothering Jen. I feel like I'm always like, I only went on a vacation maybe like for a week. And then I'm also texting Jen, how do I do this? And how do I do that? And, I guess so many things that I can talk about, but I really want Jen to introduce herself. And I feel like, you can really explain what you do. And where did all this even begin? You can begin with, how like sound healing, or the way I know you is from, spiritual business coaching.
Mhm.
And if you would like to begin with that, I would love the audience to know, because I'm pretty sure some of the people that are watching this channel, even, like we all know, we're all intuitives, we're all like struggling in some way. And if you can help them, and they need that person who can trust them, you know,
Mhm.
and trust and lead them and guide them. So please, you can introduce yourself a little bit to the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was so beautiful. Thank you. It's been amazing to work with you. And yeah, so I'm Jen and I have been an entrepreneur for a very long time. I've basically owned my own business of some kind since about 2016. And I grew up with a dad who is very entrepreneurial. So I learned a lot growing up about how to do web design and how to do business. And he's been in business for 30 years. So I've got a lot of background in that. I'm a yoga teacher and I started a healing journey back in 2016. So I have a really traumatic past that I've done a lot of healing through. And through that process, I've learned how to heal myself and how to heal others. So that's kind of like the life coaching portion where I help guide people through letting go of their trauma and showing who they actually are to the world rather than who their trauma has told them to be. So that, and a lot of the time, that will actually naturally lead into a business of some kind, because once you peel back the layers of what people are telling you to be, you uncover a passion that you actually came here to show the world. And so as you heal, it's almost the natural progression to want to do something with that and heal others or show others something. So
Yeah.
that's all of that. And then sound healing, I got into that last year. So I have a musical background. I performed, I've been vocally trained for years. And so I got into sound healing and I play the bowls and drums and I sing, and now I'm getting into chanting. And so I really like to kind of fully incorporate the human experience
Yeah.
into this. This is the little box that I'm trying to put the human experience in. And just kind of guide people from that place. So whether it be vibrational healing or healing in general or your business, because I really do love to help people problem solve because I've been doing it for so long. That's just kind of like me in a nutshell. That's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, yeah, and I love that you, especially you mentioned that you started sound healing last year,
Uh-huh.
and how is this if something like I wanted to know sound healing. I just actually discovered something that sound healing, it's like a brain and a heart coherence, and it makes a
Mhm.
huge difference. And something especially when you mentioned trauma, the past, people those are going through. And is it like any example that you had, and like like how can it really heal? Any example from your clients that you had? How
Mhm.
can like do they, you know, where can they begin this journey? Do they specifically need some sort of a prerequisite, or can they begin anywhere while
No,
they
they
even
can.
okay.
Yeah, they can start anywhere. So the cool thing about sound healing is it like just for like I'm not very scientific, but for a little tiny bit of science, like we are whatever it is, 90-95% water. And I don't know if you've ever seen water in a singing bowl, but if you play the bowl around the water, it vibrates and it bubbles. And so what's happening when you're laying down for a sound healing is that the vibration is just moving things through you. So if you're holding trauma, our body holds everything that's ever happened to us if we have not
Mm,
chosen to let it go. So if you are holding, something bad that happened to you as a child in your hip or in your heart or in your arm, the sound healing actually has the ability to move that through and out of your body, which is why people keep coming back to it. So you don't need anything beforehand. You don't like, because all you have to do is lay there and receive. It can be a little challenging for some people if they're not used to sitting still or if they get easily overwhelmed by
distracted.
sound.
Yeah, right.
But other than that, you don't have to do anything. So you can just lay there and receive it. You can go to a sound healing in your area. There's a lot of sound healings on YouTube. If you wanted to start there, like in the comfort of
Yeah,
your own home, you could just
yeah,
listen to one on
yeah,
YouTube, like while you go to sleep. I've got
yeah.
some sleep tracks that I've recorded that I could give you a link to if you wanted to
Oh
share them with
wow.
people. Like
And they're
they're
on it.
$11, but they're just like you listen to them while you sleep and they help you with certain specific things while you're sleeping. And so I've got
Oh,
some
that
stuff.
would be wonderful to know.
Yeah.
Like we can just actually post it under the description, and then
Yeah.
that way, people know how where to go.
Yeah.
And that is amazing. I just didn't know how sound can impact people in such a positive way.
Mhm.
And I just recently discovered it. And I when I found out you, and I actually watched a little bit of a clip of your video, and it's amazing. It's amazing how sound can really impact us,
Mhm.
and especially with this like subconscious mind, because they say the subconscious mind is running 95% of our brain,
Exactly.
and conscious is only like 5%. And the moment we let go, it's subconscious mind take over. And especially if we have a trauma, then that can actually impact it more negatively unless you're working something, to release it. And I would definitely recommend everyone to actually go to your website and check it out. And please, like if you meditation, it's just even in, and some people I feel like genuinely have that gift. Not that we can all learn it. And
Yes.
I feel like Jen, you actually have that gift. And like just in your voice and the way you start, because you generally want people to heal and you want people to grow in any arena they are in. And you, like you said, they can start anywhere. And
Mhm.
I feel like when I started my relationship with you, and even in the business spiritual, what I love about you is I was thinking that just when the way I started, how it has tremendously changed me me as a spiritual business
Mhm.
entrepreneur myself, and just connecting with you. That's what I really want people to like. If they can even start with you, even just from the beginning as a life coach, even as a reading from you, right?
Mhm.
And because what I love about you is that I am just thinking about something and you will say it, or you will text me, or you will like tell me, hey, this is what I want you to do, like on your website or my YouTube channel. And by the way,
Mhm.
if anybody was wondering, Jen is the secret for my website, for my YouTube channel. And it just I'm still getting compliments every single day from everywhere. Like, it's amazing what you do. And it just including all of that, like what I wanted to say, that it's very, very important for me when I am getting any kind of a coaching from someone, that they are very self-aware, they're intuitively connected with themselves. And that's what I noticed in you. And when I
Mhm.
connected with you, and that was so important to me. And because this spiritual business also, we can be a little bit sometimes not receiving. We don't know how to receive in so many things, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And and a person like you, Jen, when you come in, you're like, no, you have to do it this way. Otherwise, you're always giving and you're gonna feel drained.
Mhm.
And when I had so many questions, how am I gonna do this? Or you're like, just lay it all out what you want, and I will I will make it work. And it doesn't even take that long. I felt like,
Mm-mm.
and it took like when I was taking coaching from you, we finished everything in less than a week. Everything. And I started getting like right away, I started getting more and more clients,
Mhm.
and they wanted to look at what more I do. And it's always like, of course I want to add more and more things, but it's just something that I feel like it's because you've gone through your own journey, and because you're also a sound healer. I feel like you're also a life coach.
Mhm.
That also, I feel like that you kind of feel what other people feel, because you are a intuitive reader yourself. You
Mhm.
felt what I felt. You felt what I needed in order for me to progress in my own journey in a business, right? I mean,
Mhm.
correct me if I'm wrong. Like, it's something that I feel like not everybody has it. And I felt like I researched so many people before I met you, for my website. And when I really wanted my website to represent me,
Mhm.
genuinely me. And that's what I wanted to know. Like, how did this journey start? Like, where did this start to be a spiritual business coach? And like you said, like from your dad, and,
Mhm.
was it naturally in you, or something that you felt like, oh, this is something that's really needed? There was a lack in this arena.
So you're kind of pointing out the exact lack that there is.
Right.
That is
Yeah, yeah.
why that's why Tana and I exist, and that's kind of how
All
that
right.
came to be. So I definitely had like a natural ability for it just based on how I grew up, and then I have been in business for a very long time. So I've done kind of the trial and error work that a lot of people
Yeah.
struggle, because you can do all of this on your own, but if you go to
Yeah.
Google and try to figure it out, it can take hours and hours and hours out of your life away from all the things that you're good at and into
Right.
things that are really complicated. So I tend to thrive a little bit in that tech complicated area, and I really enjoy
Yeah.
it. And I like being smart in that way. However, there's tons of people like me out there that are business coaches, but they're not intuitive. And so for
Exactly.
spiritual entrepreneurs, we want to feel like we're not being gross, like we're not being like you're going to sell, but you can
Right.
sell from your heart. You don't have to sell with like there's things need marketing techniques, and that's just the truth of it, but you can do it in a way that feels good, and we can do it from a place where source is guiding us on what
Yeah.
feels good. And so when you work with an intuitive business coach or a spiritual business coach, it's really helpful in getting clarity on your overall vision, because for a lot of us, anybody who's watching this, I guarantee that
Yeah.
most of us that are here that want to do a spiritual business have more than 3D aspirations. So a lot of people think of things in a very masculine, like here we're making money doing this way. And we're like, no, we're here to make a difference. Like we're here to expand consciousness. We're here to help elevate people. So with that, there needs to be a little bit of a fuller spiritual approach, even when you're doing business. So
Right.
I think that's just kind of, it's just naturally kind of happened that way. Like I was not even going to be a business coach, but people kept coming to me for coaching. And I was like, oh, okay. So is Source trying to tell me something here? Because people would be like, hey, do you have like a coaching offer? And I'm like, no, but I'll make one up for you. I don't know. And then we would like do a call, like someone be like, I'm launching my book. Can you help me? I'm doing this on Instagram. Can you help me? And I just started to realize that that's kind of where my power is.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy it. Like when you and I have done one-on-one
Yeah.
coaching calls,
Yeah.
I genuinely enjoy kind of holding your hand through the process and watching
Yes.
you have those aha moments, because in my
Yeah.
mind, I'm empowering spiritual people to elevate. So that's my part in helping all
Yeah.
of us do what we're here to do. So yeah.
Yeah, it definitely, I definitely, like, so many times, like, I thought like, oh, is it gonna work, and is it not gonna work? And like when you put it all together, it definitely makes a huge difference.
Mhm.
And like you like when you said help holding a hand, she definitely holds your hand. Like, I felt so bad sometimes asking Jen to like change so many, like, one thing over and over, and she is like on it, and she is very responsible. and account, like she's holds like, herself accountable for everything that she's helping you with. She is worth every single penny that and it's like, if you want somebody like one stop for everything in your spiritual arena, and it doesn't have to be you working as an intuitive reader. You're working in any spiritual, you're a hypnotherapist or you're a sound healer, and you have your own spiritual business, right? Some people that I've come to know that they're struggling with that. So
Mm-hmm.
they just have a spiritual business like a brick and mortar, but they now, because everything is on internet, that they are struggling how to make it more attractive. The brick and mortar is really beautiful, but people don't know,
They
right?
don't know
And
you're
so,
there. You have to get seen.
right,
That's the whole
yeah,
thing.
right,
And
and
that's
then
the
it's
3D reality that we're facing here is that
right,
while we may have these gigantic, beautiful spiritual aspirations to help people, we still have to figure out how to use the systems in front of us to get people to know that we're even there. And that is
right,
something that I'm always learning all the time because things are always
yeah.
changing. So yeah.
Yeah, and coming to that, I wanted to ask you also, do you also do business coaching? I know that you mentioned, do you mind explaining a little bit about, so I know that you helped me with, you actually kind of were mostly doing the work with
Yeah.
me, like for me, right?
Mhm.
And do you also do business coaching? Like, can you
Yes.
explain a little bit about that, and how do you offer the business coaching, and somebody wants to do it themselves? How do you offer? Like, do you mind
Yeah,
explaining?
and so it's
Yeah,
funny because I don't prefer one or the other because like as you know, I have got a design company. So Tana
yeah,
and I co-own a design company. So that would be where I
right,
would do all of the work, right? I'm doing the design for the
right,
websites and the graphics and stuff. So when it
right,
comes to business coaching, my aim there is to empower whoever it is that's working with me to know how to do it themselves so they
right,
don't have to come to me every single time they need to make a tiny little change. Some
yeah,
people are fine with that, some people are not. So neither is worse than the other. It just
yeah.
depends. Like me, myself, I love to know the ins and outs of my website. I like to know exactly how to do everything. Some people love that, some people don't. So when it comes to the business coaching, I created like a 3-month package, and I can also break it up into like one-on-one sessions, but
Right,
it all just depends on where you are. So some people have probably been in business for a while and maybe
right,
they just need a marketing strategy and they want to get on a few hour call with me and we're going to go through and set up a marketing strategy. Maybe somebody is brand new and they need
right,
to go from the very, very ground up. And so I have to teach them how to set up a social presence, how to set up their website, how to set up their booking system, how to set up their emails, how to set up all of that stuff that makes the machine run so that
right.
they can do what they do. So it just kind
Yeah.
of depends on where they are. And so it's hard to, I don't have like a thing
Cookie
that's
cutter
like,
kind of like,
yeah, it's not
right,
cookie, exactly. It's not
right.
cookie cutter. And so
Yeah,
people come to me, like I said, a woman came to me and she's launching a book and she just wanted a little bit of help on how to have more visibility during her book launch. And so I could set up a campaign, that sort of thing.
right,
So
right.
for business coaching, it's definitely very one-on-one depending on what you're going through, and
Yeah,
everybody goes at their own pace too. So some people might come in knowing a lot and then I'm just there to fine tune. Some people might come in knowing nothing and I have to kind of very, slowly
hold
and
your
lovingly
hand.
explain to them how to hold their
Yeah,
hand and how to do it. So but that's kind
yeah.
of how I set up the business coaching. And I also have an offer that I do that's like an intuitive reading coaching session, which could be
Right,
used for life coaching or it could be used for business. So if we wanted it, like it's on the phone and we just pull some cards, do some coaching, come up with some
right,
action items from source and from myself. And so there's a lot of
okay.
different ways to do that kind of thing.
Yeah, so that's coming back to, I wanted to ask about life coaching. Like, is that what, like, you include like an intuitive reading, like Oracle and tarot readings for the clients, and
That
in
stuff
it,
kind of
right?
happens naturally. It's one of those things
Like,
where well, cards should just be here. Like if we're going to be doing things together, let's just bring the cards
right.
in and see what they have to say.
Yeah,
So that like
yeah,
I have separate things, but then with the life coaching, that's something that I'm really passionate about. Like actually,
yeah.
I've got a really good example. One of my favorite clients, she and I have been life coaching together for gosh, almost 2 years now. And she came from just like really angry and frustrated and having a really hard time with her life. And she owns a business, but she hated it. And she was just kind of in this place. And now she is naturally becoming an online entrepreneur. But it just kind of happened. So she went from wanting to get healed, which is like the life coaching, to being the healer in it. So with the life coaching, again, it's not cookie cutter. It all
Right,
depends on what
exactly.
people are going through. But
Right, yeah,
and I'm not a therapist, so I know when
right,
things are out of my wheelhouse. If there's
yeah,
something that I'm not, qualified to help with that, I will tell somebody, but
yeah,
I am very qualified, I believe, in certain traumas and
yeah,
certain
yeah,
release, and that I've got a lot of tools for self-love is
exactly.
my big ones. I was a
Yeah.
self-love coach for a really long time, so that's a big one that I like to work on.
But that's big because I feel like sometimes we forget self-love. We're giving love to everyone, and it's very, very important to give yourself that love. And I forget that sometimes.
We all
I'm just,
do.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm just giving to my kids, my
Uh-huh.
husband, and then I'm like, okay, wait, I need some time.
What about me? And
Yeah,
lack of self-love literally is one of the roots of all of our problems. So if you are having a hard time showing up and asking for what you need and what you want, that's a lack of self-love. If you're having a hard
right,
time processing things that happen to you, it's because you don't feel that you're worthy to
right.
be on the other side of them. And so self-love is like, that's a really big part of.
And that's something that you actually like. What really I learned from you, John, is that investing in me.
Mhm.
I am important. Like me as a spiritual entrepreneur, I like it's very important for me to invest in myself. Yes,
Mhm.
I love to invest in the people that I love, but if my cup is full, I can like it's overfilling and I can help everyone else
Yeah.
more. That's what makes like that was the key when I met you. And from the point on I met you, I think it's because we're both very intuitively sensitive. I
Mhm.
just knew that you're gonna blow everything up the park. And everything happened. It's like also I manifest, like, that's how I call it, like manifestation. It works. It
Uh-huh.
really generally works. And it's like when you know something and that aha moment, please grab onto it. Like if people watching right now, and if you feel like Jen is your coach, take that opportunity. And I am a live example of that. You can check out my website. You can check out like how my YouTube channel is all designed and everything. And even when you're talking to Jen, just one-on-one coaching, you can start with just one beginning, just a reading from her. And like you will see so many things that she can pick up on you for you right away that you won't sometimes you feel like this thing is suppressed that like how would she even know this? And I only got your coaching even just for business, but it's so intuitive, right? And
Mhm.
that's what made me love like the way you are, love everything about you. And it's something that how I started was like, oh, I know you through Tana Newberry. She's psychic medium
Yeah.
internationally.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I looked at it, I when you texted me connected, and it's something that I just was really nervous to invest in myself.
Mhm.
There, to be honest, I was really nervous because sometimes we're like, ooh, it's like a big financial investment or something like that. And but when I started, I've already received that financial abundance right
I
away.
was about to say, let me ask you,
Yes,
since
yes.
you've
It
invested
paid
quite a
me
bit, did
back.
it come back like times
It
two,
paid
times
me
three?
back.
Like,
It paid me
absolutely.
back. Yes,
So
and it
that
paid
same
me
thing
back.
actually happened
Yes.
with the singing bowls. So
Yeah.
last year before I started being a sound healer,
Yeah.
I got a message that was like, you
Yeah.
need to buy some singing bowls. And I was like, oh, they're like $1,000. I don't have
Yeah.
that. I don't know how to do that. And I was
Right.
like, well, I'm
Right.
gonna
Right.
figure
Right.
it out. And I like financed them because I didn't have the money. And
Yeah.
within 3 months, they had paid for themselves.
Wow.
So the
Wow.
universe, like, so if anybody's listening, if you've got a thing that you feel, but you're like, maybe I'm not good enough or I'm not ready to make that leap for myself, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, our desires, I like to say this all the time. Our desires are not given to us to torture us. Our desires
Exactly.
are given to us by source because we're here to live them out. And
Right.
so you're not getting a download just to be like, oh, it's something you can't have. You're getting a
Yeah.
download because you're intended to take the action toward that download. So like leap and then it
Exactly.
will appear and it will.
Right.
It
And it did.
absolutely
And
will.
to me, I know, like you mentioned, like when put me back within 2 weeks.
Uh-huh. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And you invested quite a bit. That was kind of a lot of
Two
money.
weeks.
2 weeks. And
Two
because I'm
weeks.
on the back end of your website, sometimes I
Yeah.
see your sales and I'm like, oh,
Right,
she's
right.
killing it
And
back there. Like I
not
can
just
see it.
that, and it's also because I felt like it made me more confident as a spiritual entrepreneur,
Yes.
and it made me go out there more.
Mhm.
Before I was a little bit more like also nervous to, oh, like, because of course I want to I want to represent myself on a website. And the moment it made huge difference. And that's why I'm just thinking, if any one of you are thinking that you have something in you and you want to put yourself out there, please, please, please connect with Jen. And she will definitely, and there's something in Jen, it's almost like a lucky, it's like she's your lucky charm. And I always call her, she's my lucky charm. And then she's like, I definitely feel that way. And that's why I always call her, she's one of my angels and like guiding me through. And I always feel that. I always feel like it's because, and you see it. One of the secrets is financial abundance. When you see the financial abundance coming to someone you're connecting, is one of the main reasons that yes, this person was aligned. They for a reason for you, because they help, because financial abundance is not something materialistic. It's something for you to be able to use it for your own good and for good for others,
Yep.
because they know that we're doing it for others. We're helping everyone feel better and having their own healing journey. And
Mhm.
when someone like you comes along, like, hey, let me make you better more. Let me make you look better more, or let me help you in your healing journey more. And just with that, just like I said, I've only scratched the surface for Jen, and it's paid me back in 2 weeks, and it's I'm only getting more and more. It's something that I'm getting so much attraction from social media, and it's something that I can just I'm so thankful for Jen. Like I just wanted something that I can discuss, some things that I cannot because it's a contract, right? But I just want to say that it's something, it's just I feel something that is in you, that you're really gifted, and you're genuinely here to help people, especially spiritual people, grow and lead their hands, or if they want to be more independent, right, like you said, and in their own spiritual business, or maybe if I'm not, now because of you, I'm more interested in sound healing.
Yeah.
you know and I was like, I didn't know. And then I started researching, and I was like, what is it about sound healing? And then I researched some topics about sound healing, and there's so much more developed already, like quantum sound healing. I
Uh-huh.
didn't And it all begins, like, it's all like been there thousands of years ago. Like, I'm from India, right?
Yeah.
And sound healing is like the natural way, and now scientists are proving it, like quantum
Of
physicists are
course.
proving it, from Howard studied scientists are proving it. And I was like, oh my God, this is something that, you have it all in one box. So you can help people, or like, you can help people, like, from the trauma to healing, and then becoming that beautiful flower. That I feel that way. I really feel that. And I feel like it's only a beginning. It's only a beginning. It's almost like, that one flower, and it's going to grow into, more flowers and
Yep.
trees and
So that's
beautiful
so
flowers.
that's
Yeah.
something I want to get on my soapbox for just a second, because I know
Yeah.
that you've been so kind to kind of sell me a little bit, which I love.
Yeah.
And I want, if anybody does feel called to work with me, I would love to, but I also know that not everybody's at that place yet, or maybe
Right.
financially kind of scared
Yeah.
or whatever. And
Right.
so the whole purpose of my platform and what it is that I'm here to help us realize is kind of what you were
Yeah.
just saying about the flower that grows and grows and grows. So
Right.
not to get a little bit too off the rails, but I do
Yeah.
believe we have been under kind of a spell for a really
Right.
long time, that sort of,
Yeah.
make sure you work the 9 to 5, go to your little box, do the things, get this thing, do
Exactly.
this thing, and then you
Yeah.
fit into the society. And I really think
Right.
that we're in the age of Aquarius, right? I always get I'm pretty sure we are. And I think that we're starting to kind of blow the top off of that a little bit. And so
Right.
even if you are not ready for life coaching or spiritual coaching, I really want anybody who feels anything that we're saying right now to just
Yeah.
look inside of you and ask, did I come here for something more? The answer is likely yes,
Right.
because that the world's really crazy right now. And
Yeah.
I truly believe that the way that we're going to heal that is to show whatever is in us, that
Right.
beautiful love, that beautiful light, all these healing abilities that we naturally have. And
Right.
so just start to have a conversation with yourself about whatever it is that's in you, and just kind of let it, don't force it, but just kind of let
Yeah.
it come to the surface, and just continually ask yourself every day, like, is there something I'm supposed to be doing? Is there something here? Am I here
Yeah.
for more? Because you are. And I
Yeah.
just really want everybody, that's my whole life's purpose, is to
Yeah.
get everybody to ask themselves that question.
Yeah, like begin anywhere, like Jen is saying, begin your journey anywhere, even if
Anywhere.
you feel, yeah, like even if something that you're getting out of, this conversation with us, and that you feel like there's something more out there,
Mhm.
that's how we all start. Like I started from 9 to 5, and slowly and slowly, I've always known that this is my path, but of course it takes time, like you said, it will take time. And for some people, like, it takes quickly, like less than a month or in a day. Some people make a decision, right? It depends on where they are in their journey, like you're mentioning, and
Yes.
that is huge to know. And that's amazing. Like you explained it very nicely, and like it's you have to know where do you stand with your own soul. It's
Mhm.
very, very important,
That's
and
like the
it took
most
me.
powerful
Yeah,
asset that you have. That's the thing
right.
too. Like in the face of evil, the
Yeah.
most powerful asset that we have is our love and is our soul. So you can kind
Yeah.
of let go of all of that outside stuff and just
Right.
stay here, and
Yeah.
that will protect you and bring you into these beautiful
Yeah.
manifested places that you see other people living the life that you wish that you had. You
Yeah.
can get there too if you can just
Right.
kind of stay connected to that.
Yeah, that is so important. And that's how I feel like I met you. Because we like I strive myself, I remind myself, like even me being a manifestation coach or me being a life coach, or I still have to remind myself every single day to stay in that vibration.
Mhm.
That's how we connect with people like, you or Tana or, anybody who's high vibration, because it's very, very important. How do we get protected, or how do we help, and people will help guide us? Or we, a very simple thing. And if you're not at that financial stage, you can just talk to your angels or guides,
Mhm.
to lead you in the right way. And even if 5 minutes a day, I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong. Like that's how I feel like, even if it's 5 minutes a
Literally
day.
anything, any
Yeah,
time of day,
yeah,
even if you're not the kind of person who can sit down for 5 minutes in the morning every
yeah,
single day, if you're having a conversation while you're driving, if you're like, hey
right.
guys, what do you think? Like you can
Yeah,
literally just get in the habit of connecting to that and kind of
right.
letting the rest, everything else is just noise, and everything else is
Exactly.
influencing how you feel about yourself and what you actually
Right.
do on this earth. And most of it is nonsense. Most of it's not
Right.
even real. And
Yeah.
so this is like the most important channel you could be tuning into.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
it's so important. And I wanted to say thank you for all the golden nuggets, every single thing that you mentioned. I feel like every single thing that you mentioned, it's always like it helps me in any way I can use it. I can use it in my business, I can use it in my own development as well. Because I feel like we're all students, we're always learning every day.
Yep.
And there's some things that I don't know. I'm still learning from you and everyone that I feel like I meet and speak to like-minded people. But
Mhm.
yeah, and I wanted to tell everybody, like, if there's anything that before we conclude that you have for the audience, anybody that please feel free to share, anything that you want to say before we conclude.
I want to share that even though I'm a business coach, I'm currently
Yeah,
looking to hire a business coach. So, like you were saying, everybody, we're always learning. We are
yeah,
always learning. I also just hired somebody else for like a spiritual soul mapping session. So, it's a constant connect yourself with people that are
right,
understanding the expansion part. Like, there's no need to be stagnant. If anybody is holding you down in any way, like that's probably not the right person for you. So that's why the intuition is so important. But coaches have coaches, Preeti has coaches. You know what I mean? We all are
oh my
we're all
God,
students
yes.
and teachers, and
I've
like you can interchangeably be the student and the teacher at any given time.
Yes, that's something that I forgot to mention, that you don't have to put yourself in a box.
Mm-mm.
Like you feel like this is your main purpose, you can actually shift and be like, no, that's my purpose too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to be in the business too. Like when I started doing the help, like getting help from you, I was like, this is amazing. When you were showing me, I said, oh my God, why didn't I think of? Because I felt like, oh, computers, it doesn't
See,
work.
and you've actually opened up a little bit more to
I
it. You were like, oh, I
Yes.
can do this.
Yes, and I was just like,
Yeah.
oh my God, this is something amazing. And yeah, if don't please don't put yourself in a box. And the purpose will sometimes always change. And always be open-minded, like Jen is mentioning. Please be open-minded. And that's one thing that I'm learning from Jen today is always be open-minded, because you never know what's that golden nugget that you're going to receive from that other person. And that will
Uh-huh.
definitely, definitely help you in your life journey.
Yep.
And with that, I just wanted to say thank you so much, Jen. I really appreciate you coming on. And I just want to say I love you so much. And
I
thank
love
you for
you.
coming
Oh,
and thank you for giving me this time and, time to come onto the channel and helping me grow and helping, in any way you can. And yeah, that's all. And if you guys have any questions, please check out her website, and it's intuitivegen.com. I
uh-huh.
wanted to make sure it's
Yep.
intuitive, and she has, and we will also put it in the description box below. Any questions you guys have for her, please check out her website. You will definitely be very happy that you connected with Jen. So with all that, I just wanted to say thank you. And yeah, that's all for today. Thank you guys. Bye.